My wife and my first love had been out partying for 3 days and nights. When they returned home, they were shocked to find that my figure was slowly and mysteriously disappearing into thin air. A sense of extreme fear suddenly rose in her heart, as memories of my cold and indifferent attitude in recent days flooded her mind. But no matter how much she regretted it now, it was too late. Little did she know this was all her own doing. Over the years, she had treated me like a servant, taking my constant care for granted. Not only did she repeatedly humiliate me in front of her friends, but she even made me dive into the pool to fetch her watch. Knowing I couldn't swim, I knew she was deliberately toying with me, but I still jumped in without hesitation. By the time I retrieved the watch and climbed out, I was nearly on the verge of death. But what she didn't know was that the reason I always complied with her requests was because I had a plan to revive my lover in another world. This was because I had suffered a serious car accident in my own world, which resulted in the death of my wife and daughter on the spot. When I was on the brink of despair, preparing to join them, a system suddenly appeared, telling me that if I spent 10 years in another world, accompanying a female tycoon and her daughter, I could bring my wife and daughter back to life. So I came to this world and meticulously cared for the mother and daughter for 10 years. Now, only 7 days remained before I would complete the task, but unexpectedly, who had abandoned the mother and daughter for 10 years, returned to the country and immediately shattered the peace of this home. After 10 years of caring for them, I had become an outsider. At that moment, I finally understood that all my 10 years of devotion hadn't even slightly warmed the hearts of my wife and daughter. I had no more attachment to this world. And of course, with my first love. Back, she wouldn't allow me to stay in the house, so while I was in the kitchen serving soup, she intentionally splashed scalding hot soup all over me. Hearing the noise, the mother and daughter rushed over without even thinking. They immediately ran to my first love to show concern. And my first love lied, claiming that I had an issue with her and slandered me, saying she was the real victim. She, of course, believed her lies and immediately abandoned me, who was severely burned and hurried to take my first love to the hospital. I never expected that my 10 years of hard work would not earn a single bit of trust from them, but now, none of that mattered anymore. Yet, just when I thought it was over, another crisis arose. One day when the woman handed her daughter over to me, my first love decided to take her to the swing. I saw my first love pushing the daughter forcefully from behind and immediately went up to stop her, saying it was dangerous, but they all thought I was meddling. Then, my first love ignored me and pushed harder. The next second, the daughter was thrown off and flew into the air. When the woman rushed to the hospital, my first love framed me for causing the daughter's injury. And this time, the woman didn't even listen to my explanation. She immediately ordered that I be locked in the basement and forbade anyone to give me a drop of water for 3 days and nights. Only when she saw the surveillance footage did she realize the truth and released me. But she only briefly said it wasn't intentional on her part and dismissed the whole matter. The next day, I